I've recently picked up this beauty. Now, I've been on the hunt for one of these for quite a while now, and this one popped up, so I quickly snapped it up. Now, it's a Gurney 3000 hot wash. Now, if you don't know what a hot wash is, it's pretty much a normal style pressure washer, but instead of blasting out cold water, it blasts out hot water. So it's got an internal boiler, which is diesel ran, which heats up your water. And I think this one goes to about 130 degrees. Yes, I know a lot of newer ones go to about 180 or around about that, but the reason I went for sort of the older style ones is because these don't normally bugger up. If you take care of them, they'll generally last the time you use it. All the new style ones have sensors and whatnot everywhere, and they always seem to frizzle out and bugger up, and they're just not really reliable. But a mate of mine has a couple of these, never had issues with them. Yes, they are pretty, like this one's 15 odd years old now. You can't get parts from anymore, but like I said, if you take care of them, they'll last quite a while. Now, I only paid 300 bucks for this, and for those who have pressure washers and have bought the hose for them, the hose and the gunner alone are worth 300. So I'm already in front. Now, this does have issues. The story I got with this is a guy bought it brand new and used to wash his truck on occasions with it and then sit it away. And then he sold the truck or something, and this sat for a fair few years, I think like 4 or 5 years. And he said something's leaking down in here. Now, this is your pressure dial here, and that is seized up. So I wonder if that's just seized up from sitting for so long, or it might be full of, I don't know, rust or something like that. So what we're going to do, we'll probably plug it in and just make sure it works, because I didn't even do that. I just said, yep, I'll buy it, and I thought I'd take the risk on it. So let's we'll plug some power into it, plug the gun on, and see if she fires up. And I think it has got diesel. I checked earlier. With a heap of goobies in it, so that needs a good clean. The good thing about this is you can actually pull the tank off and give it a good clean. It's just 2 screws at the top. The actual O-ring on the bottom of this hose is just buggered up. Yeah, it's all old and brittle. I might see if I got another one and we'll plug that on quickly. Looks pretty good to me. Well, here's the moment of truth if it's going to leak. You can hear the boiler filling up. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Well, the diesel works. Something in here, in this pressure valve here, is leaking. So I'm pretty stoked that the diesel heater worked. Normally the problem that happens with these is the ignition goes on the diesel heater, so or igniter or whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty happy that's working. And this is obviously your temperature dial here. So let's pull this cover off and see what we can find out in there. Oh, the screw's already off, so someone's had this off before. There you go, I can already see the water leak. Is that like meant to be leaking there, or is that... I wonder if that's all blocked up. If you can see there, I reckon that's a pressure relief valve right there, or something along those lines. That's emptying the boiler, I think. There's some sort of a filter. Yeah, look at that filter, completely blocked. So we'll have to clean that out later. Hopefully these all just come off without damaging anything. Oh. I'm glad that came off with ease. Everything else is off. Now we just need some Allen keys. Hopefully these aren't super tight. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Yeah, it's just full of, it probably needs a good clean throughout, and hopefully we'll be all right. But I'm gonna have to take that fitting off. Is there one more bolt in it somewhere? overall, it actually is not that bad in this side. So hopefully, it's just in this top section here. Oh, yep, look at that beauty. I'm glad that came out. I thought that was going to be a broken bolt for sure. It's actually an Allen key in there. You're kidding, it just looks like the end of the Allen, this little grub screw has corroded off. I could be wrong, but I think I'm fairly confident that the end of this grub screw's just corroded off. That's going to be really annoying because we've gone to all this effort to pull the pump down, and it looks like that's just corroded off. Oh, look at that. So that was slightly stuck. You'll probably find that's just stuck like that because it's sat for so long. The old grease in it is like locking it up, so we might... Oh. So that does work. I suppose once it gets under some serious water pressure, yeah, that's working how it should now. I'm happy about that. And it's pushing back in like it should. So this is what adjusts your pressure, which I said earlier, which that taper there I'm sure there'll be a taper in here, which there is, and that'll determine how much pressure comes out of the pump into your gun. I might try and see if I've got some fresh bolts, because these ones are a little rusted up. I wonder if a touch longer will be alright, because I've got a touch longer. Have I got 4? I have 4. Sweet. Are these spring washers? Oh no, they're proper lock washers. I better put those back on. So let's grab our for a grub screw. I found these little screws in this container. What I'm going to do is just put that in for now. I wonder if it'll bottom out in there. It should, and that'll be so at least we can test it then. And if we can test it and it's all right, I'll have to get a proper grub screw. That looks a lot better than what it was. You can actually see through it now. We haven't got any leaks now, so the end of this is all blocked up, but I'm just going to try it without this end. I think this end is completely blocked, so it won't come under pressure. Let's try it now. Yeah, so we got good pressure there. if you can, it's probably going to be so hard to see. Yeah, it's all black on camera, but there's something just in the end of it. You're probably just going to be getting it out because it. I forgot to say earlier, this handle here actually adjusts. I'm not actually quite sure. This is your high pressure and this is your low pressure side. I'm not sure. This does adjust it though, this handle. That's what I was doing a minute ago. So we've managed to blow that out as best we can. Hopefully it can come up on pressure now. Definitely warm. Well, there we have it. You can actually still see the hot water steaming off this plate here. But it works. Pretty happy about that. So all that was wrong with it was pretty much that grub screw had corroded out. Hot water works fine. It's a little bit down on pressure, which I'm not quite sure why that is. Like it might have something to do with this grubby here. So let's we might quickly adjust that up. If we just screw that in, I might just go a little bit because we won't want to go the whole way. So if I say there, let's just see what that does. There we go. For an example, I've got this greasy old gearbox here. You can literally see it's all sort of grimy and yuck. So we'll blast it with the hot wash and see how good it sort of ends up. it actually bring it up pretty good. Like, if you rub your finger on that, it's pulled all the grease off it. I didn't go ahead and wash all the thing because there's no need. This is literally a parts gearbox. It was more for a just sort of a demonstration on how good the steam works. But I'd say that's all fixed. Upping that pressure with that top grub screw, that it's heaps better now. It's got nice good pressure on the end. Like, you can't touch the end of the nozzle now like I was before, and it's nice and hot, which is good. So it worked out perfectly. It's sometimes you get a really good deal like this one, and other times it just doesn't work out, but in this case it worked out quite well. Now, before I bought this, you got to sort of do your research on the individual who's selling it. Like, this guy, like I said earlier, he bought it new and only used it to wash his truck, so it probably didn't really have a hard life. Where if someone was selling the same machine that was, say, a full-time detailer or a car wash or something like that, you probably wouldn't touch it, because 9 times out of 10 they just use them till they're dead and then offload them. So you got to sort of do your research and look at and know what you're buying. So that's why I sort of snapped this one up, and $350 for a hot wash pressure washer is pretty good. And we now know we had to do absolutely bare minimum. It was one tiny grub screw that had rotten away, and it all works perfect now. One thing I will do is I'll get a new filter for the diesel heater, and I'll probably, because it's actually got a fair bit of diesel in it, I'll probably wait till that diesel gets low and I'll fully clean out the tank. But besides that, it's completely usable and it's all working. That we cleaned out the gun, and that seemed to have fixed it by blowing air down it. And that bottom filter, I'll probably give that another good clean after a few times of use, just in case any crud sort of any scale or anything that's in there. I have heard of people using like a 10% mix of vinegar and running through it, and it descales it, because on the back of this machine it's got this little thing here, and you pull this out and put this in like your soaps and your stuff like that, and they reckon you put your vinegar in that, and it should descale all the pump and whatnot. But since pulling it apart, especially these, because these were a good quality machine, it's all brass. Like, it's not like the new ones that are brass coated, and once the brass wears off then it's buggered. So pretty awesome machine to have around the shed. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.